It's been a while. I think I got this right.
Yeah, don't mess with that.
All right, Bob, we're going to podcast. And that means you can't talk to us. And you have to be quiet.
Okay, let's do it.
I think we're ready.
Are we on? Welcome to Lisa Beats Your Meat. Tonight, Jimmy and I are going to be talking about
Recycling.
Cheers. But mostly plastic. Cheers.
Empty glass. Got a little left there. Yeah, recycling in general, but plastic is obviously
the big one. What are you drinking tonight?
Drinking Nocterra Brewing Beta Flash.
What kind of beer is it?
It's a New England IPA of the Hazy brand.
I'm drinking a whiskey cocktail that I put sugar-free ginger. What's it called? Ginger beer.
Ginger ale.
Ginger ale in it, and
or it could have been ginger beer.
No, I think it was ginger ale. And you didn't like it. Did you finish yours?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can taste that, right? Fake sugar is disgusting.
Yeah, I actually wanted to talk about this before we got into it. Is what is worse, the taste? Well, like fake sugars come a long way. Some fake sugars are better for you than other fake sugars. I'm not saying that fake sugar or sugar is good in any capacity, but let's be serious. I'm going to eat some sugar or drink some sugar.
Yeah.
So, like I went for a ginger ale, and it was like, do I get real ginger ale, which is just like 46 grams of sugar or something.
Literally in one can.
Or do I do sugar-free, which, and I buy like hippie stuff, like they're using, quality sugar-free kind of, it's still sugar substitutes, which isn't cool. But like my quality of life went down because I'm not drinking regular sugar ginger ale, but also like,
there are sugar substitutes, though.
It served its purpose.
Gross. Like, that tasted like...
that was gross,
what would be in a Diet Coke or a low-sugar Gatorade.
What's the good... low-sugar Gatorade's gross.
Yeah, you can't even drink it. Well, that's kind of how I felt with that. But
what's
put
the good...
like agave or something in there? Like natural things?
I don't know what was in there. It wasn't agave. But
anyways, we don't drink a lot of sugar.
What's the low-sugar drinks that you like, then?
I do like Coke Zero, and that probably has fake sugar in it.
Like the bad kind of.
Yeah, but I don't taste it in that. I don't taste it in that at all.
Well, I'm switching to a staple of mine now. In the summertime, in the warmer months, seltzers are the way to go for drinking.
Yeah.
Especially if you're drinking for like a long period of time. And not even that I'm drinking for a long period of time, but it's just like a tasty refreshment that like doesn't have a lot of side effects,
So far.
Yeah,
we'll see.
It's probably bad for you. But I like Coronas for anyone out there that's trying to get into the seltzer game.
Well, it's been so long. It might have been, you've been talking about seltzer in the last podcast.
I think from the moment I had a Corona. Because your sister Jacqueline was like, you should try Coronas. And I was like, okay, forever. That's my one.
In the seltzer world, that's where it's at.
Yeah.
All right, so...
Oh, okay. Back on topic.
Yeah, well, we don't have to get on topic, but we're back with a show. It's been a minute.
We're here with a show.
Yep. We're going to talk about, I guess,
plastics
recycling.
And recycling.
Yeah. Do you want to get right into it, or do you want to talk about food like we usually do?
Yeah, let's talk about some food. I've obviously made a lot of food in between the last episode and
I don't even know how long it's been. We're back. We don't know how long it's been. We're coming up on 100 shows.
So I've been making a lot of like treats lately. Probably not the best for summer beach bods, but I watch as anyone does, I watch the British baking show like religiously.
Do people watch that?
Yeah.
Is that a popular show?
Thing.
Okay, just making sure.
Yes, it's a very popular show. You hater. Do you not like it?
No, I like it. I just thought it was maybe popular in Britain.
No.
It's probably not popular there.
Mm-hmm. No, I'm a big fan of it. Obviously, they did a vegan week the last season. And
I missed that.
And it was fun.
It's just one.
They did, like one episode 1 week, and they did a vegan like meringue. So they used aquafaba, which is the juice of like your chickpeas. Your chickpea sit-in, and they made like a pavlova. Like they do all kind of fun stuff, but most of the time it's stuff that is baking uses a lot of dairy.
Is that sweet?
A
the
pavlova?
Juice of chickpeas?
It's kind of like a neutral flavor. You can make it one way or another.
Okay.
But
is that like to replace dairy?
It's just to replace eggs. So a pavlova is like egg whites. I don't know.
That makes sense. They put that in some drinks, right?
Yes, to make the egg foam-ish. But when I was actually, not to get off topic, but when
this is a
I
vegan
was
podcast.
Listen, when I was in New Orleans just this past weekend, I got a cocktail, like one of many, and they had an egg foam replacer, like specifically for cocktails, and it was a spray, and he just sprayed it on top of my drink, and it just like fizzled up foam. It was crazy. And I got like mad because my drink turned out blue, and I was like, I didn't say this to the bartender at all, but I was like kind of bitching because I was like, I don't like to drink or eat stuff that's like crazy colors, because clearly that's not,
good for you.
Who knows
so
where.
We're drinking hurricanes.
But one of my friends that was with me was like, no, he explained everything that was in it, and the color came from blue chilies. So like the coloring in their homemade mix, it was a real hippie place.
Sounds like it.
Was authentic, which I was like, oh, I should pay attention more.
So there's egg in a certain drink though?
A lot of fancy cocktails use egg whites to make that foam on the top. But you can use aquafaba or this weird spray stuff that I saw.
Makes sense. Carry on.
My point is that I've been making a lot of desserts because I've been inspired by the baking show. And I'm historically horrible at baking. So I've been like trying, trying to like hammer some stuff out. Like I did a tart, and I had to make like the cream that goes with it. I mean, it's all just coconut, like fat. That's just what they replace basically. But I made a tart. That was good. I gave it to my parents because they were watching our kids. I made a strawberry pie. Did you have some of the strawberry pie? Mm-hmm. That was super.
I did. It was great.
That was super good.
And you picked the strawberries too?
I did. I picked the strawberries, and if strawberry season's over, they're all gone. It lasted a day, and you had to throw elbows to get the strawberries. It was like a really weird experience. Like it was super cute, but 75% of the people at the strawberry patch were trying to get a picture, and so I had to like force my way through those people, but then also like I just wanted actual strawberries.
Yeah, it sounds like
apple
picking.
I got there 15 minutes after it opened, and it was the 1/4 of the parking lot was full. That was crazy.
Jeez.
I know.
On a weekday, was it?
It was a weekday. It was like on a Tuesday.
Well, anyways, it was good. It was good pie.
So anyways, made that pie. And then, we had a Memorial Day cookout. I want to talk about that.
And I
want to talk about...
I'm just peeking right here at your Instagram.
My Instagram. So on Memorial Day, we had chili. Like I made, we cooked out hot dogs. Vegan hot dogs, obviously. And then I made like a chili sauce to go with them. So we had like chili hot dogs or chili coney. What is that? What's that called?
Maybe a chili dog, you'd call it, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Where I come from.
We did that. And then I made a cheesecake. Did you have the cheesecake? You did, right?
Yeah, that was amazing.
It was bonkers.
Top notch.
Like.
No offense. I was a little hesitant. Your baking has come a long way. A little offended. Well, you said it earlier.
I'm gonna let that sit. I can insult myself.
I'm just saying you've gotten much better.
Remember when I made that rum cake and it was like spilling over the whole for when my parents were coming over?
You saved it though.
Anyways, cheesecake, like everyone's favorite. All you vegans out there, like, yes. How do I make a cheesecake? Because everyone likes cheesecake. It's effing delicious. So I made
every grown-up does. Kids
don't like cheesecake?
I don't think so. I think those two words together just don't sound right.
Okay, well,
anyways,
it's so good. So I just made like a regular graham cracker crust, which is like not even a problem to veganize. You just use vegan butter. You can use coconut oil. It's just crushed up graham crackers and oil or melted butter, and then you bake that. I pre-baked it because I like went off the recipe, which I shouldn't have, but it turned out okay. So a lot of the recipes say like make the crust, put it in there, and then pour the filling in, and then bake all of that. But I didn't do that. I made the crust, put it in my little tins, and I did little mini cheesecakes, which I would suggest doing mini cheesecakes because it like lowers your chances of failure. Like it's harder to fail with a little tiny guy than it is like a big cheesecake.
That's a good point.
Yeah, I've learned my limitations. So I put the graham cracker crust in, and then I just bought I think I used 4 containers of tofu cream cheese.
Wow, yeah.
Which was expensive.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
Hard to find too.
Yeah, it was quite it was an expensive cream cheese or cheesecake, but it was totally worth it.
That's probably why it was good. I mean,
that's what makes makes regular cheesecakes good. It's just a shit ton of cream cheese.
Well, if you're new to the game, tofutti is good cream cheese. The rest is pretty much shit in my eyes.
That's funny because I was researching recipes, and a lot of the recipes said that Daya cream cheese just doesn't work. They're like, we don't know why, but it doesn't work. And Kite Hill makes a good one. I bet Kite Hill would be fine because that's very cream cheesy texture.
I don't mind that one, but
you don't. I like that one better than tofutti sometimes.
Yeah. Well, it's probably been a minute since you've had cream cheese. I've fooled people with
tofutti.
With tofutti,
I feel like you could fool people with Kite Hill. No?
I've been vegan 6 years, and I still am like, what is this?
Okay. Well, anyways.
I mean, I don't mind it.
So here's the trick with the cream cheese is that you have to get coconut cream, not coconut milk, coconut cream. It's in I don't know what you call it. It's not even Mexican. It's but it could be Mexican. It's that aisle in the grocery store
or something.
I think it is Goya.
Goya, yeah.
But it's that aisle in the grocery store that has all what's the word?
It has a name, the section?
No, it's just not authentic. Ethnic. That's
section.
literally the word I was looking for. Is ethnic. And it couldn't come to my head. Wow. That could have gone south fast. Anyways, get the cream. And I didn't even put it in the fridge. A lot of recipes called for that because I was going to put it in the oven. But I let my cream cheese out, let that soften up. And then it's just cream cheese, regular granulated sugar, just good old white sugar. I put some vanilla in there. I think I put a little bit of salt, very small. And then you open up the can of coconut cream and you have to spoon the solid or semi-solid coconut cream fat out of the can. There'll be some really thick liquid at the bottom of it that's the water. Don't throw that out. Just spoon in that. And then I put in cornstarch, and I didn't even make a slurry of it. So I just spooned cornstarch into the mixture. I had it in my food processor. Whipped that motherfucker up.
Whoa.
Threw it on top of the graham cracker. I baked it for oh my God, not even that long. I don't know, 10, 15 minutes. And then I took it out. You could tell it was done because if you touched the top of it, it bounced back. It wasn't wet on your finger. It was dry to touch.
Okay.
And then I threw it in the fridge and let it set. And then I took it out. I was really proud of it. Super excited.
Yeah. She had more. But.
We have another one. I was going to give it to Amanda, but she doesn't want it because she's not eating sugar because she told me today that low-rise jeans are coming back in style. And I literally texted back, bitch, shut your face.
Okay.
Sorry.
You guys don't have to be crazy.
Do you remember low-rise jeans?
Yeah.
They're the worst.
Why?
Because They're so uncomfortable.
You can't eat treats anymore?
No, definitely no cheesecake. That's why she said no to the cheesecake. Sorry.
Well, I'll eat it. I always wear low-rise jeans.
Oh my God. It's truth.
To show like the top of my pubes.
No. Okay. All right.
Anyways, the one other thing that I found on your Instagram was these things.
Oh, buffalo tofu cups.
Yes. Lisa Beats Your Meat on Instagram. You'll see all Lisa's delicious treats, but
it's all like not good for you food.
I
make good for you food too.
I want to eat this
so
one.
buffalo tofu cups. Okay, Jimmy was away on a motorcycling trip for like 5 days. He like rode his motorcycle to Mississippi.
Sure did.
Which is a whole thing in itself. But he was coming back.
Harley.
He was coming back, and I was like, I'm going to make him some snacks. So I made him Reubens and these little buffalo. No, I made these the week before, didn't I? You can go eat that. Yeah, go ahead.
Go eat vegan corn dogs in your bed, bro.
That's literally fine. Anyways, he was coming back, and I was like, hold on. Anyways, I was making these for when you returned home because I love my husband so much. And I was like, he's been away. I miss him. He'll come home to like a beautiful setting, you know?
No, I don't know what the secret is, fellas, but we just got lucky.
Okay. Anyways, okay. In the vegan section in your grocery store, all grocery stores have it, a vegan section. There's vegan wonton wrappers, and they're like little squares, and they're used for wontons, but I didn't use them for wontons. I use them for little buffalo cups, and you like put them in your cupcake tin or whatever. I put 2, and I think I don't even know if I put oil in between them. I think I was kind of lazy and didn't even do that, but I just laid 2 on top of each other, and then I didn't pre-bake them. And I made this mixture of tofu with cream cheese, red onions, buffalo sauce, and I think I put some like shredded cheese in there. A lot of cheese.
Taste it right now.
Yeah, and then I think I put cilantro on, but some people don't mess with cilantro like that. So, it's real lenient kind of recipe.
Yeah.
And then spoon that mixture into it, the little, cupcake tins, and baked them until the wontons had changed color and they were like a little golden. And then we ate them, and they really were super good.
They were insane.
Like sometimes
crispy, like the wonton cracked a little.
It was just like a really good appetizer kind of thing. Like sometimes I make good food and I can like hold off and like limit myself, and I'm like, behave, Lisa.
Yeah.
And then other times I'm like, that is fucking bonkers. Like I can't. I'm eating this when no one's looking because it's so good.
Make those again.
Yeah. Well, I was gonna say go on a 5-day trip to Mississippi again, but
it was 3
please
days.
Don't. It was 3 nights.
3 nights, yeah. But no, next year, once a year, if you don't mind.
It's fine. I don't. We were good. So let's talk about plastics, right?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I think I could talk about food for 100 hours.
We could just do that. That's the podcast. I don't really have any groundbreaking information here.
About plastic? You might.
I mean, I do, but we did a plastic episode a while back where we were trying to cut back on it.
This is more recycling.
This is more.
Which is groundbreaking.
It's the same thing, yeah. So I don't remember what episode it was. We did an episode where this was it 2 houses ago. So this was a while ago. We were trying to reduce our use of plastic, which we have.
We have dramatically
over the years for a lot of reasons, and
I keep pushing.
Since then, yeah, I think we need to push harder. I know. I'm usually not on board, but then I read this stuff and I'm like, goodness.
We do a lot not to use plastic.
Yeah,
I like down to like I was just purchasing like body wash, and I was like, I should get bar soap because it doesn't come in a plastic container.
Yeah. Well, it's wrapped in like paper, right? Yeah.
Right, like little.
No, and that's exactly
details.
it. And I mean, not to get to like the end of it, but a revelation I had here is, I mean, granted we're doing a podcast right now, but we do need to reduce our use of plastics for a multitude of reasons. But we also have to try to convince other people too, which is annoying. And then, even being a vegan or being anything in this world, like vegan or, environmentalist or whatever, people don't like to hear what they don't want to hear.
No.
But anyways, we can circle back to that at the end.
I can tell you a quick story about me at the grocery store.
Sure. Kick us off.
I was checking out, and the cashier, first of all, she was like talking shit about my cilantro. Like she was like, this mask works wonder for cilantro. And I was like, why? Do you not like it? And she was like, no, I don't like it. I gag when, there's a hummingbird. I'm sorry. This is so exciting.
Where?
Outside. Sorry. If anybody knows birds, that was really cool.
Is it gone now?
Yeah, it's probably, they're really fast. Anyways, she was like, I don't just not like.
Sorry. On our old podcast, we'd have to stop because we're like, there's a helicopter shining a light into our backyard. And now Lisa's like, we moved. We're out of the hood, or as Lisa would call it, the ghetto.
Cute hummingbird.
Anyways, carry on.
Anyways, that she was like, no, I don't just dislike cilantro. Like, it'll make me gag. And I was like, are you 7 years old? Like, get a hold of yourself. And then she was checking my stuff, which was all vegan, very clearly all vegan. And she pulled up the mac and cheese and she was like, see, someone's just gonna have to explain this to me. Like, what is in this? And I was like, probably just like a mixture of like nuts or soy. Or like, I was like being honest with her. And she said that they're byproducts from, and let me get my bitch voice on. They're byproducts from the animal. They don't even hurt the animal. And I was just like, you're a moron and I can't deal with you.
Oh, like regular cheese?
Yeah. But one, like you're insulting the products that I'm buying currently.
Yes.
And I'm a vegan.
It's not the place or the time.
No. But also my point to circle back to recycling, which maybe you didn't know where that was going.
Oh, yeah.
Is that what's like not groundbreaking to us is like might be very groundbreaking to other people. Is that like maybe they haven't opened up their heads to think these different techniques or think about stuff.
Oh, yeah. 10 years ago, I would have been like, what's wrong with milk and cheese? Mm-hmm. They don't hurt the cow.
So never stop.
Clearly,
trying.
we're not there these days. But yeah, that's true. And I think it's where we've gotten a little bit complacent. And even with this podcast, we need to keep pushing and educating and all that stuff. It's, ironically enough, the physicians for whatever committee,
right?
These doctors that are vegan doctors, I just tweeted a new Moby song that he put out. And I retweeted it. And I was like, great song. Moby's awesome, except for that one time that he made fun of my mom. Uh-huh. And he was the perfect example of someone who
is complacent.
So not complacent, but so vegan, so old school that just forgets that there is still more people than less that don't really have any idea what they're talking about in terms of like. They don't
have an idea, but also
and not maliciously.
Right,
they just haven't been educated on it.
They haven't sent their brain there.
Exactly.
So it's good. Just send your brain there. I don't know if you're going to come back on my side or not, but just you should think about it.
Send it there for a minute. Yeah, dabble.
Yeah.
So anyways, that's what this topic is something that I think everyone's kind of interested in is recycling.
Is it a sham or not?
Most people recycle. And to say recycling is a sham, people are like, I remember your brother said it when we were camping last summer, and everybody just made fun of him for like 2 days. Mm-hmm. And then I started researching it, and it's like, oh, wait, we are kind of hoodwinked on what recycling is, especially in terms of plastic.
In terms of plastic, yeah. Like, I guess I have beef with you because we have this whole new like thing on recycling, and so we're just trying to like cut down our consumption. But you'll like throw like a glass beer bottle in the trash can, and I'm like, no, bro, that's still recyclable.
Yes, very much so. And that's just more.
I think that might have been a little drunk induced.
No. I can explain that, but I don't think it's necessary for our podcast audience. But
there's no room in the recycling bin.
There's no room in the recycling bin. That's a problem too.
Yeah.
But to be honest, probably because a lot of the shit in our recycling bin isn't recyclable.
Not.
Or I didn't take the time to break down the cardboard properly.
Right.
And where we live, the recycling truck comes twice a month, every other week.
Yeah.
And it's a pretty large bin, the size of our garbage can, but it comes every other week. And
It's not
today
working.
with Amazon, people getting cardboard all the time, or
Let's start our own
or
recycling company.
drinking 85 beers.
No,
throughout the
we'll
week.
do the recycling every other week when they're off.
Our own recycling company.
Yeah.
I think that exists already.
No, like
Like a pickup.
Yeah, you think it does?
Maybe not.
I think that's a good idea.
That's good. Yeah.
I would love to be
put that
a garbage truck driver.
on, on the back burner.
That'd be good.
But the problem with that is, and that's kind of going to be the thesis or the point of this show is that what do you do with it when you pick it up? Mm-hmm. So no one's doing anything for free. Mm-hmm. And my thought when I was a kid, I grew up in upstate New York. They were a little bit ahead of the curve, and probably a lot of cities today are recycling. A lot of places aren't. But I thought as a kid was like, we are doing this for the greater good. Like we pick up garbage for the greater good from our homes, but there's even some profit in that. Maybe not. I mean,
that's where Tony Soprano made his money.
I guess, yeah.
In waste management.
Yeah, it's not Columbus City. Columbus City garbage trucks pick up our garbage, but then there's like Rumpke and all these other companies that pick up the larger,
Rumpke picks up the recycling, don't they? I think they have a contract
there's
with
contract.
the city.
Yes. Anyway, the point is that there's a profit in recycling. There has to be. No one's going to do it out of the kindness of their heart.
Right. And then we
they
ship
should,
it
though, because they use
Asian countries, right?
Yeah.
Hold on. To preface this, there are some really I think Jimmy looked at a couple different sources, not just documentaries, but we looked at a bunch of articles.
Several, yeah.
But there are some really great documentaries on Netflix that talk about this in detail, and they're very eye-opening. Rotten had
that's the one that the Rotten
had an episode on it.
An episode called Plastic. That's where I got some of this information. But then I started kind of reading different articles, and a lot of it is everyone has a different kind of recycling process. Mm-hmm. So I was trying to find a thread, universal thread. And most of it came back to what that documentary had in it. It was just that I want to know what that was all about plastic, but I did some research on other things, which simply put, other stuff does get recycled.
Oh, good.
But to think about the amount of plastic that we use every day is insane. Mm-hmm. It's unbelievable. But it was revolutionary after World War II. I mean, these microphones, this recording thing, parts of our computer, everywhere you look is plastic. Medical devices that keep people alive. It's an amazing thing that changed the whole entire world. Revolutionary. As much as the TV, or you could even say internet.
Yeah.
But
it's probably more beneficial. Plus, also.
Oh yeah.
Not.
Well, it is. It is until. So it was I don't remember exactly when it was.
Water bottles, right?
Until before water, but when it came from beverage companies started creating single-use plastic is what we call it today. Mm-hmm. Plastic that you use one time.
Yeah.
Plastic is awesome and it will last forever. But we got so good at it that we were we can just single use this, So now it's that's the problem. Utensils and water bottles and things that we just use and we toss one time.
One time use.
Whereas I don't know, this microphone will probably be in our basement for 15 years.
Right.
It'll serve a long, great life. But it still won't ever break down.
So feeling guilty about your whole kind of household center on plastic sucks, but that's different than, every time you go to drink water, you drink out of a plastic water bottle.
Yeah.
That's a whole different kind of situation.
Yeah. So the biggest thing in terms of recycling is that apparently 9% of all plastic has actually been recycled. Mm-hmm. So I learned a little bit about what kind of plastics we should be buying. Clearly things that you're going to continually use, like a lamp or something. You don't have to worry about that. But if it's some product that you're going to use over and over again, or you're not going to use over and over again, you're going to toss out. It's going to sit there for 100 years.
Yeah,
it's going to end up
to-go boxes.
Yeah,
that kind of stuff. Do you think that if I went to Asian Wok where we get our Chinese food from, and I was like, "Yo, here's my Tupperware. Can you put it in there?
Well, I was thinking about that.
Would they be down with
Lisa
it?
and I love our Chinese food. They wouldn't.
So much.
Because they turn into like, maybe now. They remember their like COVID protocol?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they shut down longer than they had to. Honestly, that's funny that we don't even need to get into COVID, but it's just funny like on the internet, some cities that are like, people are walking outside for like the first time.
That's crazy.
Like we live in Ohio. If you live in the South of
I've been
America,
out.
you've been out. Yeah. But there are some places that are literally like this week just coming out.
Mm-hmm.
Like my friend who lives outside of Boston, Massachusetts was like, dude, I went to a bar the other day. And I was like,
You're like, so did I.
I was like, with
Also.
music? Like, and he's like, no. Like, we just opened our bars. I was like, did we even shut our bars? We did for like that 2
For like
weeks
a
or something.
minute.
Yeah. But anyways, when you go out, yeah, you be mindful of that stuff.
Bro, New Orleans, not to get off subject, but New
gosh.
Orleans was back in action.
I'm sure.
And then some.
Oh, we're
It
done
was
with
scary.
masks up here. It's great. Excuse me. So this is where it gets interesting. This was in that rotten thing, but I saw it a couple other places, and this kind of
Resonated?
hit me in a weird place that makes me frustrated about other things that are going on in this country, and including COVID. But there was that commercial where the Indian has that tear in his eye.
Native American.
So Native American. He's looking out at the ocean and there's garbage rolling up. He's standing on the side of the freeway. Somebody drives past him. They throw like fast food
Hits him
bag
in the
of
face.
garbage. Hits him in like his legs, not his face.
A little piece of ketchup just rolls down his face.
One tear rolls down his face. It was a very like inspirational video, and a lot of people credit that with kickstarting the environmental movement of like the 60s and 70s and 80s. And this was like early 70s, this video or this commercial.
But
It was
who paid
huge.
for it?
It was the plastic industry.
It was the single-use bottle companies that paid for it.
Yeah,
Pepsi.
It wasn't necessarily malicious.
It was a
completely.
lobbyist group that was promoted by Pepsi, Coca-Cola, it was a whole conglomerate of single-use bottled plastics. They got together and they're like, listen, we're going to throw all these bottles out there. We need to like flip the script on how this is going to look.
Yeah.
And so we're going to say, you should be recycling our shit. It's not our fault that we're putting out single-use plastics by the ton every minute. It's your fault you're not recycling.
Yeah, it was the.
That's some manipulative bullshit.
I mean, I don't know how malicious it was.
It's not that those people were like, listen, I'm going to like wake up someday and I want to make plastic and I want to do this. It was just like they found the easiest way possible. They manipulated the people. They used ignorance to their benefit to make money. I think that was it. They used ignorance to their benefit to make money. And I think that's like a backbone of a lot of problems in our world.
Well, I mean, there are a lot of industries to say, like, I don't give a shit. Like, we're polluting, fuck it, deal with it, your problem.
Who
But
says that,
They
Jimmy?
at least saw, like,
Who says
this
that?
is
Even
going
like
to be a problem.
oil companies that like have spills don't say that.
Well, they didn't until they had to. Saying they foresaw this was going to be a problem, and they were like,
They flipped the script.
Let's make this a consumer issue instead of a production
Yeah,
issue.
let's pass the bill.
Yeah.
100%.
One thing I didn't have time to research, and I wanted to, but I wonder about is states like like New York, where I grew up, and Michigan, and I don't know what Vermont. If you look at the top of I can tell you right now, actually, top of a can: Connecticut, Maine, Vermont, Massachusetts, New York, Hawaii, and Iowa all have a 5-cent deposit on their cans. California.
Ooh, this one says Oregon and Michigan is 10 cents.
Yes, 10 cents in Oregon, Michigan, and California. So anyways, every single can you buy, you pay an extra 5 cents per can. So if you go buy even a case of beer, you're paying a few extra bucks for that, and then you bring that can back, and it gets recycled. I don't know if that's benefited them much, but again, that's not plastic. But there are...
This is like, aluminum. What is this? Aluminum?
Aluminum, yeah.
That is recyclable. So like, let's just
in
follow
a constant loop. But I think
let's
they
follow
do
the
it
money on that. Like that.
I think they do it in plastic though too, in certain states.
Really?
Yeah. So when I was a kid, so we would take.
You break it up.
Yeah. You'd have to go plastic aluminum, and then you'd bring it all back. Like, you did not put the shit in your
You know what? I love that process for the reason of I think that people need to be aware of, like, you live on this earth, you've created waste and you've created waste. It is you should be responsible in how that waste is dealt with. Yeah. I think we've gotten into this mindset where we're like, oh, you know, I ate this, I drank this, I consumed this, I ordered this, and like, take it out to the trash. It's not my problem, but it is your problem. You, the consumer, like, consuming isn't just I buy it off an Amazon and it comes to my house. It's from start to finish. Like, what the hell are you going to do with all this waste you've created? That is your responsibility. And breaking up your recycling really helps you zone in on, like, wow, I drank a shit ton of beers this weekend. Yeah. I'm aware. Because, like, when you know when you go camping and you have to, like, bring your trash with you and you're like, God damn, this is a lot of trash. Like, it's good for you to see that. Hey, let's not make so much trash anymore, you know?
Exactly.
Let's consume less.
And you don't see it, and that's why it is out of sight, out of mind. And, you know, at some point it becomes more and more, but that was, I don't know, it's just a weird thing. I think the deposit on a can or a bottle is definitely not the worst idea.
No, I think it's really good to stay just cognizant of that.
That's a little easier to deal with, though. But yeah, I don't know.
You know what I find?
But those are easier.
The can things are cool. Yeah,
put it on plastic though, and it can never happen because of, like, you were like lobbyists. You were saying earlier, like, you go buy a 35 pack of water at Walgreens, and it's like $4. If you put 5 cents on each one of those things,
you know what though?
But those mofo's would end up.
You know what? Homeless people go after cans. They don't give a shit about aluminum.
Actually,
why don't they incentivize that? Literally. Incentivize picking up plastic.
Well, so the problem is what plastics
what are you going to do with it?
So you
can't do shit with a plastic bottle. You can do shit with an aluminum can.
Aluminum cans are going to get recycled, and they will, I think 80 to 90% of them are just in a cycle of recycling. And you can do it over and over and over. It depends on the plastic.
Let's sell water out of aluminum.
They should. I mean, you see the cartons of, like, paper water cartons now. Mm-hmm. But so plastic comes 1 through 7. And the number 1s and the number 2s apparently are extremely recyclable at a profit. So they melt that down, put it in a brick, and send it off. And people will pay money for that. Other countries will pay money for that, or industries. So 1s and 2s are worth money. So you flip it over. If you're buying something in the store, like laundry detergent.
3, 4, 5s, nothing.
Apparently 5s are okay.
5s are okay for what?
5s are becoming a good reusable plastic. But 2, 3, 6, 7 is nobody wants it.
Nothing.
It goes to the landfill. Like,
if
you put 2, 3, 6, 7 in your recycling bin, you're wasting your time. You're wasting other resources for that to end up in the trash. So you're gonna actually be doing the environment a favor by putting it in the garbage can.
Right. Definitely. That was the problem I had. My mom, and I was under this thought. And I think a lot of, like, you know, quote unquote, our type of people is under this thought. I was like, well, I'm just going to put it in the recycling. If it's not recyclable, they'll take it out. But it's actually the opposite of that, which is kind of a crazy, like, I never thought
of
that.
You in that Rotten video. The guy, like, pulls an umbrella out and he's like, you know, we all want this to be recyclable.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not, and people put it in there.
We want it to be recyclable.
Yeah,
we're like,
maybe you're causing us. And I've pulled shit out of the recycling bin all the time. Like, there's no freaking way this is recyclable.
Maybe a while ago, but I feel like I'm good now.
Yeah.
But my mom the other day was over, and she put something in the recycling bin, and I was like, that's not recyclable. And she was like, well, I just consider at least I give somebody a job. And I was like, no, Mom, that's not it. That's not how it's working. That's a nice thought.
Yeah.
That is not reality.
Throw it in the street and somebody might get paid to pick it up. But is that really doing us any good?
But I guess, like, the overall theme of it is that if recycling it's not a sham, but if there are some caveats to recycling that maybe the normal person didn't realize, and that there's a little bit more to it than, we knew, that if that's what we know now, the point now is just to reduce consumption.
Yeah. And real quick summary on that China thing you said earlier was, it used to be what your mom was doing. We would throw everything in recycling, and they squeeze it into a big cube and they put it on a freaking ship and they ship it to China. China was like, give it to us.
Like, sure thing.
Give it to us. And they took it all. They broke it up. They burned what they didn't want, which is horrible for their atmosphere and ours. But
like all the people around there got cancer.
Yeah, it was bad. And then China said, whoa, we can't do this anymore. For a while, Americans or most civilized countries, or what do you want to call them, first, second world countries, would just ship it there and just not even think about it. We didn't know what they were doing with it.
Not in my backyard.
And then in 2017, China said,
no more.
They banned it, cut us off, and then we had to start dealing with it. And
but it's been like filtered into like Malaysia or Thailand. Like
for a minute, Malaysia became the hot spot, and then Malaysia, same thing. They couldn't see the sky anymore, and they were like, "We're not doing this anymore. You're cut off."
But it wasn't just the United States; it was the whole world.
It was the whole world, yeah. The whole
their stuff there.
Yeah, Europe, all crazy. And then there are a lot of places that, like I said, we're into it. The industry's not going to stop producing plastic, and people aren't going to stop using it.
But we have to. We do. The consumer has to stop.
That's how it's going to be. Yeah, or just find a way to get our hands on the better plastics if we need to, and then stop buying the shitty plastic. But like, let's say when you go buy...
Discriminate plastics. That's what I'm telling you. Discriminate.
Right. Let's talk about that.
I need you to discriminate.
What do we do?
Between plastics. There are good plastics and there's bad plastics.
Yeah.
There's a lot of products out there that are plastic and that are recycled plastics, that are clean, like safe plastics, BPA free, clean, safe products that you can use in your home and you don't have to feel guilty about.
I don't want to encourage your
usage,
your madness, because I know you'll do all this. No, I do want to encourage it. It's fine. I'm proud of you for what you do, to be honest. But like, what if you're going to go buy raspberries? Like that shitty flimsy plastic.
Yeah, but you can't buy raspberries whole.
I mean, you can go to
nowhere,
like a farmer's market, maybe.
Yeah, but that's 3 months out of the year.
Yeah. So things like that.
No, most like produce, whatever you can do, I will do.
Yeah, sure. Lisa throws all the produce into the cart. And I remember when I first met you, like a long time ago,
annoying?
I was like, no, I was just confused by it. I'm like, why aren't you putting it in the bags? Like, imagine just reaching into your cart and pulling like apples out and just throwing them up on that little turntable.
I feel like they would get really annoyed with me because I would have like 3 limes over here and they'd be like, oh, and they would like scan it and I'd be like, I found 2 more. Oh, gotta do it again,
Pull your little Rolodex out and type the number in.
But the point that I was getting to is that I think that when I first was like opening my eyes up to recycling and the pitfalls of it, that I just got in this like really like negative mind space about it. Like, well, like this is all awful. Like, what do we do? And then you like start looking around your house and you're like, everything is plastic. You get real down on yourself and you're like, this sucks. Like, what am I going to do? Like, just go live in a cabin in the woods? But you don't have to. And you're not going to do any benefit by living that like depressive kind of like mindset. You need to differentiate between, if you need to buy something like my children's plates that we use are made from recycled plastic and we use them a breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
Yeah.
Like we use them all the time. They get so much use out of them and they're not even done. Like they're still kicking. I'm not going to throw them away for like a long ass time. But like products like that, if they're made out of plastic, like, listen, that's okay. That's okay. We're humans and we need some products to live by. We all can't just live with zero stuff.
That's something we're trying to be logical here. And you can't tell people to pour their fucking raspberries into their...
Right. Right, like that's just not going to work.
Their burlap sack at the grocery store.
But what you can do is, very conscientiously look at single-use plastics. And single-use plastics just gotta fucking go. They gotta go.
Yeah.
There is really no, I stroll up at like, oh my God, like I went to the airport the other day and I reused silverware. Like I had like my own silverware. Like that's crazy, but also like that took some time to think about it. It had a lot of like planning, but at the same time, like it wasn't absurd. It wasn't like I couldn't do it, We
used to just like sneak knives into airports.
And then just no water bottles.
But yeah, if you're going on a road trip, like we bring like 6 or 7 water bottles in the car that we fill up before reusable. Because typically you just roll into a gas station, grab yourself a big water bottle and crush it and throw it out. We were putting.
Also, it's free. Water everywhere. Super free. You
can
just fill up your water bottles. Like it's no big deal. And if you're gonna buy plastic like that, like say you're hella hungover and you need a Gatorade, whatever, buy the biggest size they have, and somehow that the bulker the thing, I think the less it is.
There was a minute there that I don't see as much that there was a water that came in a glass. And
Voss.
Yeah. But now there's the cardboard one. Cardboard is also like completely cyclical. Like cardboard is fine as long as it's not like a pizza box or a milk carton.
Pizza boxes don't break down?
Well, they have like cheese and shit on them and grease, so they typically can't recycle those.
They can't recycle them, but they're gonna break down.
No, they'll break down. Yeah,
they're not gonna be around for hundreds of years.
Throw those in the garbage can, and they'll break down in 15 minutes.
Right.
Yeah,
that's what definitely like when I throw stuff away, and I'm like, like maybe that overflow of the recycling is cardboard boxes that I'm putting in the trash, and that's not super cool. Yeah. But also I know when I put that in the trash, I'm like, that's going to be gone in a month. Like that doesn't necessarily bother me as much.
That actually benefits the industry as far as I can understand. But even Amazon though, I was thinking about that today. When you crack open an Amazon thing, it's full of like those plastic like big bubbles bags, and stuff. Yeah. Once in a while it's like stuffed with like paper.
Yeah.
Which I don't know why they can't just do that.
Usually that's on Amazon. That's like if I buy from like a Etsy kind of situation.
Okay. Well, they should do that and crumple up news. I don't know. Whatever.
You should tell Bezos, our friend.
Oh yeah. I'll let him know.
Well, next time we're on his super yacht, we'll
let
him know. Oh, that's right.
Yeah, he's out.
Didn't he get divorced?
Yeah.
And then Bill Gates is getting divorced, right? And Bill Gates is an Epstein boy. Did you know that?
I've heard weird things, but yeah.
Definitely.
It's how you redistribute wealth.
Could you imagine
billionaires get divorced?
If Bill Gates? I don't know. Like if I was like a young girl in that, and Bill Gates rolled up, they'd be like, I don't care how much money you have, dude. Like I am not interested.
Not like 5 million.
He's ugly AF. He's just not my type at all. I like him old. I don't like him like that. No. Gross.
It's a weird thing.
Sorry.
But yeah. That's that.
Yeah, so plastics.
You can't really we're not going to regulate the industries into doing it. I'd love to say that we could say that, we could call our governors and write our legislators and say like, hey, you should force the industry to just change. It's not going to do it.
No.
They have too much money and government's all bullshit and they will react to what the consumer wants. If the consumer starts grabbing a paper carton of water or stops buying number 3, number 4, number 6, number 7 plastic, like which people are doing.
And they do.
And plastic bags in the grocery stores, like what's wrong with paper?
I don't know.
They even have ones with like handles on them.
I definitely don't use plastic bags anymore. But here's my thought about that is that we're not going to revolutionize the whole thing. Yeah. But like you can only just like kind of live for yourself. We're all just living. This is a very like conservative mindset, but like
independent mindset.
Like take care of yourself, and maybe that it would inspire change amongst others. But like, I can't put my head into the mind space of like, wow, this is overwhelming of like how horrible this is. But I can do it. I can make some changes. I can singularly, put some different changes in my life, and I can feel good about that. And maybe it's just one little change, and maybe it's not making like a big impact, but that little tiny impact kind of did make a big impact.
Yeah, I mean, it
think about it.
Typically inspires someone else to maybe do something.
For sure. But even if it doesn't inspire, I have kids. We're vegan. We live this crazy lifestyle. We're going to recycle what we can. We're going to not try to consume. I'm going to pass that on to my kids in a loving way. Or if they rebel, I'm not going to. But hopefully they do. But like that legacy, as small as like my little changes, that it's like, is it worth it? Is it not worth it? I don't know. But like, yeah, no, let's move forward with these like little changes. And then that moves on to like my children, and then those children, and their children, and their children. Like, it does make a really big difference.
I think it does, yeah. I mean, your mom was always like the crazy vegan, and now it's like, oh wow. This is like a thing that people are into, and
everyone look back at her and they're like, wow, that woman is 72. She looks fucking amazing.
Oh, yeah, that's a whole nother thing.
Yeah.
She's rocking and rolling.
So,
wow.
Little changes.
I think so. I think
This
it's going
was good.
well.
This was good. All right. Well, cheers, Jimmy, to the end. Oh, you don't even have your beer. You drank it all.
Yeah, I was just ripping through them. It's wild. It's wild. And it popped into my head that we have to have my sister Jacqueline back on.
Yeah, she's
She used
vegan
to be
now.
our keto person that would come on the show, and she's like been vegan for a long time.
She has. I think she likes it.
I
hope she likes it.
I think most people do once they're in it long enough.
I'm so excited to like make
For
some
so many
food for
different
them.
reasons. Yeah.
Like on vacation, I want to make savory oats because it's the best.
Yeah, savory oats are definitely like
I'll make those buffalo cups.
Every time you make savory oats, I'm like, oh.
And then you eat
them,
it.
and I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
I was like, wait. And then my brain's like, you're an idiot. You liked this that much last time.
It's hard for me not to overeat them.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Oh, I definitely overate them today.
I made bagels this morning.
Yeah, you did. From scratch.
I would give them a 65%.
Yeah. I liked them.
Okay.
No, I'm not.
You should stop.
I'm not giving you
I
any
liked
opinions
them.
on them. I was just agreeing with yours.
Okay.
I will not.
All right. Well, I'm going to go make us dinner then. So thanks for listening. Do you have anything else to add?
No, I'm just excited.
This was good. I feel like we just scratched the surface on recycling and there's so much to it.
I'm more into it, and I want to kind of
just
learn
consumerism.
more about like how it's happening around our community, but it really comes back to consumerism. Yeah, it's what you're buying,
So how much you're buying,
what you're buying, and I think a lot of it's food too. Like it's easy to, I don't know, plastic. I guess most of it's coming in through the food. It's coming from the grocery store. It's not. The kids' toys will last forever. We'll bring them to Goodwill.
Right.
Car parts that I order.
No, it's the blueberry container. It's the shampoo bottle.
For a while, I was like, well, I can't buy anything. But no, we get shit all the time off the internet and mailed to us for a lot of different purposes, like building up our house or fixing the cars or all these little things. But in reality, aluminum gets recycled very well. Cardboard gets recycled very well. Newspapers, paper, glass, like all that stuff. We have a really good ecosystem of recycling for all of those things. Plastic is where you just have to take a step back and be like, I'm not going to buy that thing. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I like the bar soap with the paper on it.
Words of wisdom.
Yeah. Well,
look at you.
That's what I do, That's why I'm so rich and famous
you
on
just
the internet.
like a gray hair just like pushed out of your skull and it's like bloop.
I've been poking out of my...
To join the thousands of others, to be clear.
Oh, like a couple, 50, 60.
Okay.
All
well,
right.
thanks for listening,
Yeah.
and we'll see you next time.
Yeah. See you in 2023. Just kidding. Just kidding. We're gonna do more of this. I hope.